All right. Here we go. Here we go. Get a little bit of writing in today. It's cold outside. Got my coffee. If anybody wants to jump in the chat, let's have a chat. Let's talk a little bit. See who the top fans are for the day. I just ate a grilled cheese sandwich for lunch. We're doing good. So my goal is 2 pages. Doesn't matter which one I'm writing on, just two pages. And I'm working on a short story here that I'm almost done with. So maybe I'll just try to finish this short story as well. So it's gonna be a lot of click click clacking of me typing today. Unless somebody jumps in, I don't know if I'm gonna do an hour. I might do 17. No, probably just do like an hour or so. I think I got some dried barbecue sauce on my shirt from last night. Oh well. You know what I'm saying? Oh well. It is what it is. Is what it is. I don't know if you can hear that, but the cat is sneezing like crazy in the other room. Like crazy. What is this? No. Going through some emails now too. Trying to get some motivation to get some writing into. Ain't working so far. I had a bit of an of a morning, but I'll wait till I get several people on. Tell you that funny story. Stories are so funny sometimes. Okay. I'm also going to be short on some water. I'm going to need to get some water at some point as well. I also have to read some of my baseball rumors while I'm at it. All right. All right, whatever. All right. Here's the thing: if nobody jumps in and chats with me, right, then I'm still going to get some writing in. I'll probably get more writing in, but I also like to chat with people. Let me know how your day's going. Mm. Okay. It's like we've been beaten down with all of this AI crap for months, and there's still some authors who are like, "Is this legit?" This company out of nowhere, Paramount Pictures, wants to make give me $250,000 to make a movie out of my book. This is real, right? My book that's been out for 2 weeks, I haven't yet sold a copy of. This has got to be real. I'm that good. Speaking of spam, I'm getting some spam phone calls. Ridiculous. Absolutely. All right. Let me get back to the. Wait, what is this? I get so mad when people message me. I don't know why. Oh, what do you want? Random stranger. I love this one. Would you mind sharing your phone number? Yeah, I would. Because you are a bot. And this one, they want to. Oh, just so ridiculous. It's like, is anybody online a real person anymore? It doesn't feel like it. It feels like everybody sending you a message is just a bot. And you could go through and you could waste your time for hours and hours with these freaking bots. Hmm. This is why I get nothing done. So I'm just going through hundreds of garbage emails. Not one of them is a legit email. Keith says, "I've come to spend my lunch with you." You know what? I appreciate that. We used to do lunch all the time. I think maybe I had lunch with you twice in my life. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. How you doing, my friend? Getting some writing in, maybe. We're doing okay. You know what? That's all we can ask for, right? You're doing okay. How's the family? How's everybody else doing? Good? Good. I don't know if you saw the video of when I unboxed your book. I told the story of me and you and my son going to that college to do that signing thing, and then you guys played Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something. He is 29 years old now, which isn't crazy. They're good, and yes, you butchered my name. Yeah, I am like, oh shit, what's his? It's I'm like, you know what, Gueva. Close enough. That's in my Jersey accent. You're you're a grandpa? Holy crap. That is insane. Last time you and I hung out, our kids were young. That is nuts. was talking privately about when we would go to the Oasis. I think that's what it was, Oasis convention. I don't even know if they still have all that. And that one guy who ran it, I was not a fan of that guy. I ran into him a couple of other times over the years, and it's like talking to that guy. It was like talking to a shoe. It was not. It was not all that pleasant. To be honest with you. And Necronomicon. Yeah, I did Necronomicon. I don't know how many years ago. It wasn't that long ago. Like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Oasis is dead. Yeah, I figured Oasis. I didn't see anything about that in a long time. Necronomicon is good. I did Swamp Con in Gainesville several years back with Anne from who runs Necronomicon and Richard Lee Byers. We were some of the guests. They put us up in a little crappy hotel and they paid for our meals and stuff. We did a writing workshop. There was another author there. I can't remember what his name was. William something or other. I've done other signings with that guy too. We did it one year, but and I think then the next year I did Necronomicon because Anne's like, "Oh, you got to do it, you got to do it," and then it was just awful. For me, it was just really bad. My first panel, I was like the second panel of the day, and the first panel there were these people with giant costumes, and then they went over like 10 minutes, and Anne was in the room. And then they started breaking all their stuff down for like another 20, 25 minutes. And literally, when they finally cleared out all of their stuff out of the room, the panel had like 15 minutes left. And then, of course, people were coming in and were like, I don't know what's going on. And then they were going somewhere else. So, and then I had one other panel that there was a guy on it that just wouldn't shut up. He just kept talking and talking about himself and his book that just came out and how it was, it's going to be a movie soon and all this other stuff. And somebody else in the panel was like, "Oh, who are you signed with?" Or whatever. And he's like, No, it's that good. I mean, people are telling me it's that good. So I know it's going to be a movie. I don't remember the name of it, but I don't think it's a movie. And then me and my wife were like, I didn't know anybody there, and then the room that we were booked into. Yeah, his mom loved it. Oh my god, my mom just loves this. And then our room was across the hall from the gaming room, which I don't know. Maybe you understand this, Keith. I don't understand it. If you're spending all that money to go to a convention, but then you spend the whole time just sitting in a room playing video games that you could be playing for free at home and playing with the same people. I don't get it. So there was like people in there and it was like 2 a.m. The room closed. Then everybody was all mad. But in the meantime, every time the door opened across the hall, you could hear all the shooting and the games and people yelling and carrying on. And then we get up in the morning and there's like 3 people in the hallway, just lying in the hallway, waiting for the doors to open at 8 a.m. over there. It was like 6:30. Get a life. Was there prize? No, there wasn't a tournament or anything. It was literally, here's a game room and we got a bunch of different systems set up and come in and play. Nobody was playing against each other. They were just basically doing what you could do at home. Oh, I can go here. I can spend money and stay at this hotel for 3 days and pay to get into Necronomicon, and then I could play on their Xbox instead of my Xbox at home. That's literally what was happening. And every time we went past them, we went to the room or not, and the door was open during the day. everybody just was like dead silent. Nobody was talking to each other. Nobody was hanging out with each other. It was like 15 people crammed into this room. It was crazy. At one point, we were like, you know what? I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's go to the mall. So we went to like some mall over there. I know, it's just weird. It's just very odd. But I never went back. I think she invited me again back the next year. And also there was a thing where they were like, we'll sell your books. And I think they charged you a fee for that. And then on Sunday morning, I'm like, yeah, I go in there. I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving. I need my books back. They're like, no, this has to go till 4:00. And I'm like, then are you gonna give me my books back? Well, then you can we'll figure out a thing. We can, like, we'll have to mail them to you, but you'll have to pay for it. I'm like, or I have like 10 books on the table. You haven't sold one. You're not going to sell one in the next 5 hours or 6 hours. I'm taking them and I'm leaving them. Let Ann know I'm taking my books. And I grabbed my books and I left. Tom Duffy in the house. It's bad when you go to the mall. Yeah. If a convention is so bad and you have to go to the mall, there's a problem. Lorraine in the house. Hi, Armand. Don't know if I can stay long. It's been a crazy morning here at One Story House. I came to your channel to decompress. Well, welcome in. I'm just telling about a convention. Keith, however he pronounces his name, I say Gueva. He says that's wrong. I know better than he does how to pronounce his last name, but whatever. We've known each other for 20 years or more. We used to we did some book signings together back in the day. He's down in the Orlando area. I assume he still is. And we're just talking about stuff. Go Veya. No, it's Guava. Keith Guava. So that's currently where we are in the story. This morning I had to go to get my oil changed. Keith says, I'll take exactly. Why are we arguing, right? I had to go get the oil changed in the Dodge Challenger, which I normally don't drive, even though it is my car. My wife bought it for me my birthday a year and a half ago. She drives it every day. I always drive the pickup truck when I leave the house 3 times a month. But she's like, listen, can you go and get the oil changed? I made an appointment. I'm like, all right, I go there. Then they hit you with, your back brakes are bad. You need an oil filter. You need this. You need this. So I'm like, yeah, okay. I set this up for 9 a.m. so then I could get out of here by 10 and I can go hit McDonald's and have a big breakfast with hotcakes. That's the whole reason I agreed to do this. And now you're telling me I'm not getting out of here till almost 11 o'clock, which is what happened. No big breakfast with hotcakes today. But there was some guy in there and he just kept yawning and yawning. And then the guy behind the counter was like, hey, man, we got coffee. Do you want coffee? He's like, yeah. And then he couldn't figure out how to use a Keurig. So then I had to actually get up and show him, yeah, you got to put water. There's no water in the back of this. And I do that. And I was like, you know what? I don't want, they had really like weird, like cheap K-cups. I'm like, I just don't want another cup because then I'm going to have to go to the bathroom and I just want my car and I just want to leave. Then this woman comes in with, I'm trying to say this. Did he tip you? No. He thanked me profusely. But then this woman comes in with a meth mouth. Okay. Lots of cracked teeth. She weighed about 18 pounds. She was either 21 or 121, depending on how you looked at her. I mean, she was just definitely a lot younger than she looked. And she comes in and she says, I need whatever on my car. I don't even remember what she would do. And the guy's like, yeah, we have no openings. We're basically booked for the day. You can make an appointment on, for Saturday morning is what we have open. She's like, no, I need this done today. He's like, I mean, you can call around. There's other places. She's like, no, like, I'm not driving that car until I get it done. And he's like, I don't know what to tell you. He's trying to be nice. And she's like, well, just put me on the list. And he's like, for Saturday. She's like, no, put me on the list today. He's like, there is no list for today. We are booked out because the one that we go to, the place we go to, they also do a lot of the Amazon trucks. So they have like them scheduled in for the day. So they're usually really busy. There's Charlie in the house. But they're usually busy. But if you book it, like you just show up there, they're like, yeah, you can come back in a couple days. But I booked it for 9 a.m. I was there before 9 a.m. I figured I'd get out of there and I would get some McDonald's. No, God forbid. But this lady, she's like, well, if you can squeeze me in at any point today, then that'll be fine. And then she just sits down. So the guy behind the counter looks at me and the other guy like, what's going on? And I'm like, I just shake my head. I don't know. So now I'm on my phone and there's like a little table between us. She's sitting in the corner. There's a little table and she leans on the table and she's like, is that an iPhone? At first I ignored her. Hey, is that an iPhone? And I looked at her, I said, no, it's not. You ever own an iPhone? No, I don't want an iPhone. And now I'm just scrolling. I'm going through my emails, trying to read stuff, trying to read baseball rumors, trying to do anything. But and she just keeps asking me questions, random questions. Did you think it was going to be this cold today? And I'm not even answering her. And I look up and the guy behind the counter is just smiling. And I'm thinking, I could bring you into this conversation at any point, buddy. 70 yesterday. We got up to 70 yesterday. Did you see that? And I want to say, no, I live under a rock. I had no idea. No, in my part of Jacksonville, it was negative 30. That's weird. And literally for about, I would say about 40 minutes, 45 minutes until I finally got my car done, she just peppered me with random questions. Key says, you should have told her she flirts weird. Yeah, it was just really, really like insane random questions. And it was all questions, you know. It was like at one point she's like, did you see what's going on in Minnesota? And then I don't say anything. And then she immediately says, a lot of restaurants in town have been closing lately. Have you noticed that? Like everything was a question. And I'm just like, it's almost like you're getting fed. There's like a television, CNN or something is in your ear. And as they're telling you headlines, you're just throwing them out. It was the weirdest thing. You ever eat at the famous Amos down here, a couple blocks? I think it's like a block. Maybe it's like 2 blocks. Right there. Have you ever eaten there? They have really good omelets. Really good omelets. I had a friend who worked there. She was a hostess. She only worked there for a couple weeks. She didn't like it. She didn't like the clientele, if you know what I mean. And at this point, I'm just ignoring her. And the other guy, he's literally moved his chair a little bit, and he's like facing the wall. And the other guy at the counter, he just was smiling, just watching this happen. It was so uncomfortable. So when the guy's finally like, your car's done, I'm like, thank God. And then she said something as I was walking out, like, nice talking to you or whatever. Like, nice talking at me. Then we had sex in the bathroom. No, I'm just kidding. Then we had sex in the bathroom, and now I have 36 diseases. And she kept leaning over and I'm like, I don't want people close to me, and I especially don't want somebody like you that close to me. I could not wait to drive the hell out of there. And of course, then it's 11 o'clock now, so I've missed my window to get a big breakfast with hotcakes at McDonald's. Tom says, a view from my seat, my morning with the Jacksonville meth community. pretty much. Yeah, that'll be my follow-up book. I loved your baseball book. I'm not sure about this meth one. I'm just trying to write some nonfiction, sir. It was yeah. So I came home and I'm like, you know what? I'll just make a couple of grilled cheese sandwiches. Not nearly as good as a big breakfast with hotcakes. It was cold this morning. It's cold now. 47 degrees and cloudy right now. It apparently rained all night. Ugh, not good at all. Tom, I did not read our chapter. I'll do it. I'll probably do that this afternoon. I have therapy at 3. So after therapy, if I don't take a nap, or if I take a nap before that, so somewhere along those lines, somewhere that will all happen. I guess I could write a little more on this story, though. Unless anybody has anything, throw out whatever you have. I'm all ears. Oh my god, with the 10 spam calls an hour. He says, came for the writing, stayed for the meth head. Exactly. Just ridiculous. Ugh. I don't know. I'm under the mind your own business when you're out, or take a hint if somebody's not talking to you. I'm like, I got to find just something else to read on my phone or just to stare at to make it look like. I'm like, oh, there's news about European soccer. I'm going to read this, even though I don't watch it and I hate it. This is still better than this lady. Tom says, is that the same oil change place where the guy was asking the best way to cut off a muffler? Yes. Yeah, yes. Yeah, Tom got to see some of the crazies that go into there. Yeah. Lorenz says, sorry for not contributing to conversation, but I'm trying to stuff my face with leftover Thai food while I have a quiet moment here. You know what? Good for you. I'm a big fan of Thai food, pineapple rice. There's one place here in Jacksonville that puts it in a pineapple. And I like that. I just like the presentation of that. There's another one that's actually closer to us, and I think the pineapple rice is better, but the presentation is. I mean, isn't that part of it? Should food be a visual? We went to a barbecue place last night for dinner because my wife was like, "I want beef ribs," and we don't get beef ribs here. There's like 3 places in town we figured out. So we went to the what was the name of it? Something Pig. I don't remember what the name of it was. Something Pig. Anyway, we went there, and she called first. She's like, "Do you have beef ribs?" Because a lot of places just do them Fridays and Saturday, and then they were like, "Yeah, but we only do a few every day." So we got there and they literally had 2 left. So my wife's like, "I'll take one," and they're like, "It's like a pound and a half." I mean, they're brontosaurus. They were it was huge. She didn't even eat the whole thing. Then I got the sampler of 4 or 5 different things. Pretty good place. He says he may be propositioning you to swing. You know what? Maybe. Lorraine says, "What awesome! This is overly spicy, burning my mouth more than sweet tea can handle. I could use some pineapple right now to cool it down." I am. I always say, what kind of heat do you want? I'm like 0 or -2. I can't do heat at all. Whereas ruse and subterfuge, which is Tom likes everything super crazy spicy, which is ridiculous. My wife's like, give me like a 1. And I'm like, give me a 0. I want to be able to taste and enjoy my food. I don't want my mouth burned off. Yeah, no heat at all. That drives me nuts. We went out with people years ago to a Thai restaurant. I think it was a I think it was a Thai restaurant. And it was like a graduation or something like that. And the person that invited everybody, he ordered all the food for everybody. Hey, we're just going to do there's like 12 of us and we're all just going to, I ordered like almost every dish. I'm paying for it. But he had everything made spicy. So it was like, I can't eat any of this. That was really not cool. This Thai food goes to 11. Yeah. But yeah, I don't like that. I don't want my mouth burned off on anything. What the hell was the name of that place last night? It was like something, the Bearded Pig. That was it. The Bearded Pig. Over on Kings Avenue, if you're ever over on Kings Avenue in Jacksonville, the Bearded Pig. They're pretty good. They were packed. Shelly says, what place? The Bearded Pig. We went to the Bearded Pig last night. I was trying to remember what place we went to. They were packed. When we got there, some guy's standing in front of us. We walk in and he immediately turns to my wife. He's like, "You've eaten here before? What's good?" And we're like, "This is actually our first time." He was from Utah. He was staying at a nearby hotel. He was in town. I don't know what he was in town for. Maybe the Mormon convention up the road. I don't know. But then my wife started harassing him. "Dude, I'm going to get the beef ribs, but they only have so many. So don't order the beef ribs. If you order the last beef rib, I'm going to be mad." He's like, I won't do that. When we got up there, they had 2 left. Did you take that to work today, Shelly? Everybody, Shelly that's my wife in the chat there with us. Good times. Now I have to leave at 1. Oh, okay. All right. I had grilled cheese sandwiches for lunch because I couldn't get big breakfast with hotcakes. Maybe I'll get up tomorrow morning and get them. Probably not. I do like Thai food though, Lorraine. It's one of those where I didn't realize I liked Thai food. My wife's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get Thai food." I'm like, "Is it Chinese food?" She's like, "Yeah, kinda." I'm like, "All right." And then I was like, "Oh, I like this." And there's a place like on the next exit that we went to once or twice that's really good. I'm partial to a Chinese buffet, to be honest with you. The more you can eat, the better. Shay says, maybe when you take the truck in a few weeks, you can get a big breakfast. Oh, don't send me out again. That lady might be there. Thai 9, yeah, which I think is under new ownership. We're going to have to try it. Ryan says, I could eat it every day if they would get the spice level right. Love Chinese food. There's a Japanese buffet that opened near us. It's got a lot of seafood on the buffet, which I really enjoy. Tom says Thai food is probably my favorite. Any Southeast Asian food. Are pizza rolls Thai? You know what? They should be. They should be. I haven't had a pizza roll in a while. I think I'm going to next Thursday, the 12th. Yeah, so next Thursday. Tom, in case you're interested, we're gonna do the Chinese buffet lunch over there. I think I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna go not because I want to hang out with the three mics or I want to hang out with Win, but because I want Chinese buffet. My wife is not a fan of buffets. I am. Lorraine says we don't have a lot of seafood here, landlocked in this part of Georgia. That's not good. Keith says I got to get back to work. A pleasure hanging with you. Cheers, everyone. Keith, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it, man. Hopefully I will see you again soon. I think your book is already gone. I think your book has already left the little free library. I think one of the kids came by and grabbed it already. So it should return. It returns a couple times for other people to read. So I appreciate you giving me that book, man. Appreciate it. Lorraine says I. And then there's a dramatic pause. That we got a dramatic pause from Lorraine. I have no idea what Lorraine's gonna say. We still don't know. I've heard you mention that little free library. Explain. Sorry for the I. Don't ever apologize for I. Little Free Library. So we have actually two on our property. So Little Free Library is a nonprofit, and they're on every continent, and I think there's like 250,000 of them now. Jacksonville here, we have probably it's got to be 100 of them. Basically, what it is, it's what it is. It's a little free library. So it's like a little wooden thing. We also have a bench one for the kids' books. And it's basically leave a book, take a book. It's free books. And so it promotes reading is the idea. So I always try to put some of my books in there. And we're in a pretty big neighborhood here. I think it's like 350 houses. So every day I get several kids or parents that will come, and they will, a lot of them, like some lady will come like every couple of weeks, and she just takes like 2 giant boxes of books out of the back of her car, and she'll try to load up my my little free libraries with books, which is cool. And so that's it. So we have tons of books in our garage, and just crates filled with books, because I'm like, well, people are going to take these books and not bring any back. They're not going to give us new books, so we're always going to be empty. But that has not been the case. We've had it for 4 years, 5 years now, maybe. And so me and my wife, we do date night. We try to do like once a month, if possible. And what we'll do is, like, say on a Saturday, we will load up like 3 crates of books, throw them in the back of the truck, and then there's a littlefreelibrary.org. They have an app on your phone if you have an iPhone. And it tells you all of the little free libraries in your area. Like, that's great. I'll have to see if we have around here. Oh, I'm sure you have a ton of them. Anytime we go on vacation, or like my wife again, we're in Atlanta because she has properties up there she manages. Or if we're like, I don't know, we're going to Stone Mountain, wherever we're going. We're going to Darien. There's a turtle pond we go to up there. Anytime we go up there, we always hit little free libraries, and then we're like, oh, it's date night. So before we get dinner, let's drive around in that area of where we're going to get dinner. And we just fill empty. And I think the last time we did it was last Monday, whatever. I think it was on, I think it was last Saturday, maybe, or the Saturday before. I don't know, whenever it was, we found 3 little free libraries that were completely empty. And there was one of them that was like huge. And we filled like a crate and a half of books into that thing. So it's always cool. And I always put my own books in there. I always have some of my older versions of books and whatnot. And, it's for people to read. It's fun. I sit here and I just watch the kids ride up on their bikes, and it's good. Every now and then there's this one guy in the neighborhood. He brings both of his little kids. They ride up. They open the bench, opens from the top. That's where all the kids' books are, and then the adults are in the top. And they're always they grab a couple of books, they give it to him. He looks annoyed, and then nobody closes the bench, and they just walk away. And I just want to yell out the window, "Close it!" But I don't. But I go out there, and then I'll close it, and I hope that one of them sees, oh yeah, maybe I should do it, because then the books will get all wet and ruined. I'm gonna put his picture up on the thing and say, "You are no longer allowed to. You're no longer allowed to take free books." Yeah, if you use if you go on the, you can just do it right on your computer too. If you go littlefreelibrary.org, it shows the map thing. You just punch in your like your zip code, and it should pull up all the ones around you, which is pretty neat. Lorraine says people treat free things so badly. Yeah, because there's no inherent value to them, because they're awful people. I got like 6 spam messages just in like the last 10 minutes. This is just getting ridiculous. But I guess people fall for that. I read a thing yesterday where somebody in one of the groups said, I guess it was too good to be true. But, they said they wanted my book that, to sell to a movie company, blah, blah, blah. Universal Studios wanted to buy this and make it into a movie. And, they attached like Bradley Cooper or whoever is interested, like all just absolutely ridiculous. And they were like, yeah. And so, there was no, they money flows to me is what they said. But then they wanted, I had to do a, like a trailer or something. So we had to hire, they were going to hire actors and blah, blah, blah. But it was like $2,500 to set it up and start doing this. So I sent them $2,500, but then they ghosted me now, the emails and everything. And then, of course, I sent, because he's like, I did my due diligence. I looked it up, and the person legitimately works for Universal or whatever it was. And then, of course, they send that person a message and like, yeah, that's not me. They use a Gmail. It's like Bob Smith at Universal, movies.com, something like that. That's the real guy. And they did like Bob Smith Universal at gmail.com. And so you were out $2,500. And I'm like, and that's why they keep doing this, because they find suckers like you who are paying for this. I feel sorry for the people who genuinely like your stuff, because I would get messages here and there, but now I just immediately just, nope. Like, here, just got another one. And they just pick a random book. What's funny is I got 225 releases. So you're basically just picking a random book from my Amazon and going, we love this book. Did you? Also, been getting a lot about the stimulus checks. They're going to help me get my stimulus check early for a small fee, very small fee. I'm like, I would imagine you're getting people who are like, oh, okay. Morons. Yeah, I'll probably do another 10 minutes or so. Trying to, I should really finish this short story. Then I got to read the other thing. What is that? No, wrong one. I'm like, I don't, okay. Nope, nope, nope. All right. I'm glad everybody's coming hanging out today, though. This is fun. I got a little bit of writing in. I'm really seriously thinking about just doing this on YouTube Live every day. But then I worry that the people who follow me on Twitch, um, some of them will not jump over. And it really doesn't hurt if I do it on. Today I'm just doing YouTube Live. I'm going to do Tuesdays and Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays. If I'm on, I'll do them just on YouTube Live. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will still do Twitch and YouTube Live. See what happens. All right, so I have to format my book soon. Do you do it yourself with a particular software, or does an editor do it for you? I format my own books. I don't do a great job of it. There's a writer that I write with. I've written several trilogies with. And normally I just say, here, book's done, format it. And then he does a great job on it. I've never paid anyone to do it. And I work with a lot of publishers too. So a lot of my stuff, the publishers obviously are doing all that stuff. But I'm not a big fan of setting up all the formatting stuff. I think there's programs that will help you do that too. I have Atticus, but I haven't used it yet. Too intimidated. Yeah, I don't know if Atticus or Vellum, one of those gets used. But I don't know which one he uses. And maybe he doesn't use either of those. Maybe he's come up with his own concept. I don't know. I went with the cheapy one. Yeah. I think I have Atticus. I think I have Vellum too. I've just never used them. Again, like you, I'm like, this. I don't want to learn a new thing. Do I really need to know this? Do I really need to be Mr. Fancy Pants? I'm gonna plug in my fan before it dies, even though I'm not planning on using it today. I don't know. A few more minutes. I'm also almost out of coffee. I'm now out of coffee. Whereas I like to say my aging brain cells for learning more important, interesting things than editing formatting. Yeah. Yeah, we only have so much space in these heads, you know? The fear is I'm like, oh, I'm really great at formatting now, but I can't remember any cartoon theme songs from the 80s. So that's really not a good trade-off. Amazing. We put that blanket over that chair because the cat always sleeps in that chair all day, licks herself. And then my wife came in here to do some recording on a couple of review videos. So she threw the blanket on it so she could sit there without getting cat hair all over her. That was like a week ago. So now the blanket is, of course, it's a black blanket covered in cat hair now. Just insane. All right, let me try to finish this. Let's finish this page. All right. 1 minute left. 1 minute left. You got anything? Throw it at me. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow on Twitch and YouTube Live, noon Eastern Standard Time. Try to do a 2-hour tomorrow. And I think I got 2 packages I have to do unboxing videos for as well. Looks like books, advanced reader copies from a couple of different publishers. So that will be interesting. Trying to read books, get rid of books, and I keep getting more books in. At least I'm not paying for them. I want to remind everybody to hit the subscribe button. If you were on live right now or were on today, I appreciate you. I'm glad we got to hang out today and chat. If you are watching this after the fact, I appreciate it. Let me know what time works for you in the future, because I might mix some of these times up and do early, do later, whatever. And if I see that there's people that are going to be on at a specific time, I'll come and hang out with you. Otherwise, I will see everybody tomorrow. Love you. Tomorrow.